Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from SIS Group. We will explain about argument and discussion. My name is Ifti Hornisa Fatia. I will explain about discussion vocabulary and organization. Discussion vocabulary. Easy titles commonly ask students to discuss a topic. Children will learn a foreign language more easily if it is integrated with another subject. This requires an evaluation of both the benefits and disadvantage of the topic with a section of the essay, sometimes headed discussion, in which a summary of this is made. And the following vocabulary can be used to discuss are benefit with drawback, advantage with disadvantage, a positive aspect with negative feature, pro with con, plus with minus. One major advantage is with a serious drawback is one drawback to integrating content and language is the demand it places on the teacher. A significant benefit of teaching a subject through a language is the increased motivation to master the language. Organization. The discussion can be organized in two ways, either by grouping the benefits in one section and the disadvantages in another, or vertical, or by examining the subject from different viewpoints, or horizontal.
Okay, my name is Anissa. I will be like to explain the language of discussion. In discussion, avoiding the use of I, my, you, your, we, and our, and also avoid the personal phrases such as in my opinion, personally, I think, and etc. It also been mentioned that convention about the acceptability of the use of these personal forms vary from discipline to discipline. So, how can you express your opinion without using I or my? So, here are some suggestions.
There are impersonal phrases, and phrases suggest a monetary viewpoint. Next, use a passive structure. In many types of essay, you are expected to make your own viewpoint on the topic clear. This is often done through a thesis statement. Next, use a noun phrase. And use it is plus adjective and there is or are plus noun.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Walia Nur Maulani from Group 9, and on this occasion I would explain about the counter arguments. Counter arguments in bahasa is the important point that I would explain about the counter arguments is such as what is it, why should I use it, how do I use it, and when should I use it. Okay, the first important point that I would explain about the counter arguments is what is it? I mean, what is counter arguments? Counter arguments are ideas that are opposite to your ideas. It means when you bring up the arguments that are against your opposite. Basically, these are the arguments that you would use if you are writing the opposite paper. Okay, the second important point that I will explain about the counter arguments is why would I do that? I mean, why would I do the counter arguments? Okay, the first is when we show up our counter arguments or our arguments, and it's true, and we usually see in the real life. So, the opposing views allows you to be seen as a reliable author and also being honest to your reader. So don't afraid to show up your counter arguments. Okay, the third important point that I would explain about the counter arguments is how do I use it. Okay, you briefly mentioned a point that supports the other side of the arguments, then you dismiss this idea. The example, when you are talking about the spanking the children is not a good way to discipline children, so you will mention that spanking children is a good way to discipline children. Consider this example. Well, it's true. When we spanking the children, it can be physical painful to the children, but we can spanking the children on the stuff and softly, so it cannot hurt the children. And it just give the experience to the children, and the children can be more good children than before. Okay, the third important point that I would explain about the counter arguments is consider this sentence. Okay, when we use the counter arguments, we can use the sentence like some research claims that, but in fact, so the other, there is some truth to the arguments, however, or while it is true that this doesn't account for, and the other. Okay, the last important point that I would explain about the counter arguments is when do I use it. Okay, there are two main places to use counter arguments. One is embedded within a body paragraph, and the other is a separate paragraph. And it just gives the experience to the children, and the children can be more good children than before. Okay, the third important point that I would explain about the counter arguments is consider this sentence. Okay, when we use the counter arguments, we can use the sentence like some research claims that, but in fact, so the other, there is some truth to the arguments, however, or while it is true that this doesn't account for, and the other. Okay, the last important point that I would explain about the counter arguments is when do I use it. Okay, there are two main places to use counter arguments. One is embedded within a body paragraph, and the other is a separate paragraph.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Haliza Aninda Putri. I will explain about providing evidence. Providing evidence is evidence that we can show in order to strengthen the opinions or material that we are presenting or discussing. Proof and evidence have the same understanding in Indonesian but have different meanings. Proof is proof logically without evidence, and then evidence is proof by showing object. Example of sources of information that can be used as evidence is 1. Print and electronic sources, 2. Observation, 3. Interview, 4. Survey, 5. Experiment, 6. Personal experience, 7. Quotation. There are many ways to present evidence. Often, evidence will be included as text in the body of the paper, as a quote, paraphrase, or summary. Sometimes it includes a graph or table, a quote from an interview, or a photo or illustration. That's all the explanation from me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.